Anna Banana goes prime time.
And that's the name, that's your nickname for the...
I got that name. It's so funny. I got that name when I did the Race Across America trip the very first year, because the first 2 years what I did was I rotated in the tractor trailer trucks, and because you have a CB radio in the truck, so I had fun with the truckers on the way, and they gave me my own handle, which was Anna Banana.
So you've taken on veterans. How did that come about? Tell me about that. How did you decide that was going to be your cause? Because First Ladies have...
You know, I didn't really give it any thought at all while Paul was running for office. It never really occurred to me that I was going to have to play a public role. And then he won the primary, and I still didn't give it too much thought. And then come September, it's like, wow, holy moly, if he wins, that means I've got to come out of the closet, so to speak. So I just started giving it some thought, and I really wanted something that, I really wanted to stay Anne, because I don't think of myself as First Lady material. I just happened to be married to the governor. The public stuff, even though he was mayor, I never really, I mean, I still ran around with a flannel shirt and a baseball hat. So I really wanted to do something that I could be true to myself and really just stay Anne. And that's how I thought about military.
How long have you guys been married?
It'll be 30 years September 1st.
Wow.
Yeah, and we dated for 3 years before that. But I got to tell you a funny story. When he was elected and we came here to the Blaine House, I asked for a meeting with General Libby and Chaplain Gibson. And I told him, I asked him, I said, we're thinking about doing this. What do you think? And we had a really good meeting. I mean, I didn't even know the difference between, I thought everybody was a soldier. Not everybody's a soldier. So, and Chaplain Gibson said to me, he says, you got to remember one thing, Anne. Not everybody who's in the military is a supporter of the governor's. Mm-hmm. So I said, that's fine, that's fine. But I think this is so great because, to me, it's non-political. Everybody supports the, well, I shouldn't say everybody, but most people. When you talk about veterans or the military service members, it's something that brings people together. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So, and I've had a lot of fun doing some of the things that I've done. If you had told me in 2010 that I would have to do public speaking, I would have told you to get a life. It's not something I ever thought I could do. And I don't think I'm good at it by any means, but when it comes to the military and supporting them, that's the easy stuff for me.
What are some of the, maybe tell me a couple things you've learned about our Maine guys that that's really stand out to you?
I think
there's so many stories probably. Yeah.
I think they truly appreciate the support that they get from Paul and I. You know, and I often say it, and that's why I do some of the crazy things that I do, because I really believe you can't just talk the talk and be there for the photo ops. That's just not who we are. But you got to do the tough stuff too. So that's why I did the motorcycle ride for Race Across America in December. Paul didn't want me to do it, but I was going to do it anyways.
Were you on a bike all the way?
I was on a bike.
The whole way?
I was on a trike. I did get off for about 100 miles because the Barbara Bush had approached me, First Lady Barbara Bush, and asked me if I was interested in doing a baby journal. So we did the Learn, Love, Read baby journal, and it's a booklet that they give to all new moms when they have babies, and I think the Alphon Foundation gives them $500 credit towards their college education. So she asked me if I was interested in doing that, and I jumped at the chance because she's my all-time favorite First Lady, and I think it's her personality that I love.
So you've got to spend some time with her?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. We actually did an event. It was a school up in Brewer, Mrs. McGinnis's class, and Barbara Bush is very big into literacy. Right. So I was invited down to Biddeford, and they do these scholarships where they give the school scholarships, and we got to talking, so we got invited to her home to have lunch, and we were having lunch and somebody talked about Skyping, and so I started talking about Mrs. McGinnis's class, that we had actually Skyped with them, and all the new technology and how different it is, and she said that she had Skyped with that class, and then I can't remember who brought it up, but somebody said, wouldn't it be awesome if the two of you Skyped together? So we had this elaborate plan. Long story short, the teacher thought we were Skyping from Walker's Point. But what we did was we were actually behind the curtain at the school, and they pretended that they lost the connection because they unplugged the connection. So she has all the kids in the school and thinking, oh no, this is not going to turn out well. And so they opened up the curtains, and First Lady Barbara Bush and myself were there. So it was really cool. Paul he's a workaholic. He's no different today than the day I met him. He works all the time. I don't think Paul will ever retire. He'll do something all the time. So I'm pretty used to it. And then when the kids were younger, he traveled because, you know, he did consulting work. So I was able to stay home with the kids. So it's nothing unusual.
And holding that all together and doing all this additional stuff, I mean, being a mom, do you guys have grandchildren?
We have two grand. In fact, they're coming tonight. They live in Canada.
Being a mom and a grandmom, and then you have this whole public role, and you got to hold the household together.
But I'll tell you, I actually feel very fortunate. I look at some of these first ladies whose their wives, their husbands are governors, and they have little kids, and I don't know how they do that. You know, because I just remember with our kids, once they reach junior high, high school, you're traveling around to sports events, you're involved in the booster programs. So I think we're very fortunate that we're not having to go and do that because our kids are grown up.
Do you want him to run for president?
No, no, no way. I didn't sign up for that.
Have you ever entertained the thought? No, I'm kind of teasing a little bit.
No way.
The other thing I was curious is, it must be, is it difficult to block out, you know, having your husband always in the news, you know, he's always in the news. His staff sometimes even say to me, you know, he's got the nickname Front Page LePage. Does that ever get to you, or how do you balance that? I guess
He is who he is. He really is who he is. He campaigned on trying to do something to make the lives of Maine people better. And right, wrong, or indifferent, he's going to do exactly what he said he was going to do.
Do you guys ever get into conversations where you're offering him advice, or
I give him advice all the time. Sometimes he takes it, sometimes he doesn't. His challenge was getting out in front of people. Because I tend to, you know, and I've said it before, I like the grunt work and being in the back of the room. So being pushed to the front of the room was really coming out of my comfort zone. I think we've done a lot of good things, but there's still a lot more things that I want to get done.
Like what?
Like, I think, you know, when you talk about the service members coming back, PTSD is a huge problem. It breaks my heart when I see homeless vets on the side of the street with signs. I think a lot of work needs to be done there. A lot of these guys coming back, we got to get jobs for these guys and gals, not necessarily just guys. But so I've been on a big push with the, you know, when people look to expand their business and to grow, to look at our veteran community.
So tell me something interesting about living in the Blaine House that you didn't anticipate, because Lynn tells me, you know, you're kind of always with staff, and it's not like being in your
no, it's not like being in your home. It's like living in a fishbowl. It's like living in a fishbowl. But I think the people here, you're with them so much, they actually become part of your family. And the people here are just absolutely wonderful. I mean, we had somebody retire a year after we came in, Mary Gates. She had been here 30 years and worked through 5 administrations. Wow. So,
wow,
you know, they were all afraid that when we came in, they were gonna all lose their jobs, and we said, no way. You know the house, you know the system, you know how everything works. You're not going anywhere.
What kind of touches have you guys done to make it your? Is there any,
we haven't done major things. We refinished some floors. We did some painting. We did a little bit. We replaced the linoleum in the bathroom floor, but nothing exuberant. And downstairs, that's all done by the Friends of the Blaine House.
Okay.
So they take care of all the downstairs stuff. So up here, it's basically just, you know, making it your own, so to speak.
You guys took over the kitchen table. You wouldn't eat in the fancy dining room.
Yeah. They have 2 dining rooms downstairs. They have a huge state dining room, which they call it, which seats 24. And then they have another dining room, which is the family dining room. We don't eat there either. Unless we've got a military dinner, they've got a little butcher block table in the kitchen that seats 4. And we'll make it seat up to 6 if we have to. And the trooper always eats with us. And my feeling is, why am I going to do all those dishes to set a table? We'll just sit in the kitchen. We're very just average, everyday people.
Well, you're the first lady. And
No, I'm
married
not.
to the governor.
I am the first banana.
Well, I remember one time, this was last year, the year before, the governor was steamed about the legislature, and he said he was gonna. Oh, it was over the TV. He was going to move over here and just work over here, and I was wondering, what were you thinking about that? Did you want him here, or did you want him?
I said to him, "No way, you're not staying here. You're going back across the street."
That's part of the story that we never got.
You're going back across the street.
So you're looking forward to another 4 years?
If it's in the stars, you know, if they, I can honestly say, and I think we both feel that. If he's reelected, that's fine, but if the people of Maine decide they don't want him and they want somebody else, that's fine too. You know, you just roll with the punches. He'll do something else. Who knows, I might go back to work in Martin's.